Fierce ladies, welcome to the Moms in Real Estate podcast, where we unleash our unapologetic power to share the raw truth of our journeys. Brace yourself for a dose of empowerment, education, and encouragement like never before. I'm Kristen, a relentless entrepreneur obsessed with connecting and uplifting fellow boss babes. In this podcast, we're all about getting down to business, conquering motherhood, nurturing relationships, and so much more. Get ready to dive into the nitty-gritty, embrace the hustle, and unravel the secrets of success in the world of real estate. We're here to ignite your fire, equip you with the knowledge, and unleash your limitless potential. Tune in as we redefine what it means to be a true boss babe.
Hey friends, welcome back to Moms in Real Estate. Today, I get to introduce you to Mel Ortiz. She's an Arizona-based realtor and a fellow mom who is doing some amazing things in real estate. I just love her fresh perspective, and I love how she shows up to provide value for our Moms in Real Estate community. Let's dive in.
Hey Mel.
Hi.
So excited to have you in. I feel like this has been a long time coming.
Yes, it really has.
I know. So we're in the same market, you guys, which you guys know I love having people in person. So why don't we get started and just tell everybody like a little bit about how you got into real estate?
So I've been in real estate. It's going to be 6 years coming up. And essentially I had a really good corporate job, and that kind of was shifting, and I went to go bat for myself, and I was hitting walls. It was kind of like this barrier. And my husband and I had kind of daydreamed about doing real estate together. And when the opportunity came up, I jumped in, but our family was really young. So that was kind of scary.
He was in real estate before you, right?
Yes.
So when you left your corporate job, you went to kind of like join forces with him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think so many moms listening are in this situation that are like, they hate their corporate job and they're thinking about getting into real estate. And I know how scary that can be. Was it like terrifying for you to leave that?
It was, because my job was what was anchoring us originally. So I had benefits.
Yeah.
And, I think you wrap yourself around the illusion of what security is and what it looks like.
Yeah.
And so what I have seen along the way is a lot of different mindset shifts that have come, that have changed and evolved over the time period, because that was like, I was in corporate for a decade and doing really well and kind of thinking like, wow, am I going to be able to make this amount of money coming out of this when it's a full-time gig that is completely commission-based?
Yeah.
So it was definitely difficult, but I also am one of those people who's super intense. Like, my back has to be up against the wall for me, and I will just sprint. I will just keep moving and going and grinding. So, I mean, I think my babies were 1, 2, and I think we are 9-year-olds. So we were.
That is really like crazy to think about, and how scary that must have been. And then now, but you're probably so happy now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I would not. I mean, even if thinking about going back to corporate, I'm like, it would have to be something easy that I could just coast if I wanted to coast, but I wouldn't be passionate about it.
No, it sounds so boring. And just having like the like rigidness of corporate America, like I remember like I worked at GoDaddy for probably like 3 years, and I just remember it was this constant like micromanagement, and like they had this illusion of being this like super fun company to work for. And I was just like, it's actually not. Like, I feel like you're constantly like somebody's breathing over your shoulder, and I hated that. And I felt like it was so hard to move up no matter how much you wanted to.
Well, and I think that's it, is that you want to climb the ladder, right?
Yeah.
And I did special projects that were like Kaizen. So like how to do process improvement and things like that, which were like integrating into, which was ex-Motorola, but like these company spinoffs. So it was just what has built the whole Arizona Valley, right?
Yeah.
And then they bring you in to do these special process improvements, and all the engineers who have like done things the way that they've been doing them forever don't want to change that mindset. Mm-hmm. And then when you come in with innovative ideas, there's red tape all over them.
Totally.
So it's like, you want change, but you can't make change, but you're there to create change.
Well, and even like thinking about in the real estate world, it's such a self-help world and like mindset and everything like that. So you probably love that since you had so much red tape before, and now you're like, oh my gosh, there's just like no ceiling and so much opportunity.
It is. And because that was kind of the realm that I was in, that's the role I've played in our business too. So like my husband is very visionary and like he just comes up with these crazy ideas all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who's like, okay, love the concept. How do we bring this down to reality? Is it really feasible? And and I love to execute upon those things, but sometimes I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
That one's dead in the water.
Yeah.
But we both kind of have that creative mindset and play off of each other. And so it balances out really well, but we've had to learn how to really make it cohesive.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's been hard, or do you feel like it was like to figure out like whose lane is what?
That was a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we hired a business coach.
Oh, that's great.
And we jokingly are like, she saved our marriage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, because it's hard when you're in it and you're not like, you need that other person that's looking at your business from like they're not taking either side or whatever and giving you that advice.
It's true. And it's that outside perspective that we have had to have a referee who's like,
yeah,
like your lane, you
yes.
know? And so it's kind of evolved, and there have been times where it was like we were doing everything together, and then there were times where we're like, all right, we need to go our separate ways or just have a little bit of distance. So we would change like times that we would go in and out of the office, or we wouldn't carpool together. And then there were times that we would do like all of it together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been always adjusting and finding that right balance.
Yes.
And I feel like we've finally figured it out.
That's good. Do you guys do a mix of it now?
Yeah, we do a mix of it.
That's good. It's like Mondays and Wednesdays, we ride together. Thursdays and Fridays, we do not.
I know, right? Yeah, it's just been such a good balance. We've learned a lot, grown a lot. And I think that in real estate, what you learn is to just fail faster.
Yeah.
Like, don't be afraid. And the hard part is that I'm a perfectionist, right?
Yeah.
And so I want to be making sure that everything is buttoned up and that the details are covered. And he's very much just like, you just got to get in and do it, moving fast.
That's really good for you guys to have such different like personality traits. I feel like I need somebody that's like you.
Well, and it's just funny because, I mean, that's kind of the portion when I jumped in and I was like, okay, we need systems and processes, and we've like created a bunch of collateral. And it's more so every time we have something in mind, it's always like, how can we benefit our clients? How can we make their experience better?
Yes.
Because we are primarily referral based.
Yeah.
And so word of mouth and just making sure that we're showing up big and powerful for our clients.
Yeah.
That's our biggest goal. And the nice thing is that we can switch really fast. If we see something or hear that there's like a better way, we can automatically integrate it into our business.
Yeah, that's great. And I feel like that's what's been, people always tell me like, I'm so like, oh my gosh, you have all your stuff so organized and so systematized. I'm like, it is so hard for me because I'm more of like your husband. I'm like, just do it. Everything will be fine. And then I've done that for a long time. And then finally I was like, I got to get these systems in place. So that's why I said I needed you. And in some of my businesses, I have a you, and it's such a big difference. So tell me a little bit about like when you say you want to show up like big and powerful for your clients, like what does that mean? How are you guys showing up big and powerful?
We just really try to make sure that we're educating our clients and that they feel like they have an advocate at every step. Like we talk about the different stages of negotiation, which we're like, okay, there's like 3 primary things. Try to chunk it down, but also just that connection with them.
Yeah.
Like we're in the business of really connecting with our clients, making sure that they are heard, and that, I mean, honestly, we love to play good cop, bad cop, especially in negotiating. So it's our wheelhouse. Like it's what we both have done in our corporate
I could see
lives.
you being really good at that.
And so it's kind of funny because, you know, if he comes in too aggressively, like I have the softer touch to also help diffuse some things, and we both can kind of figure out client-wise, like who will be a better fit personality-wise too.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that there's not a one-size-fits-all, and it really comes down to, like, are you able to communicate effectively? Do you have systems and things in place that can help recreate the experience and a good experience for your clients?
Yeah.
Right? And then are you connecting with them on a level that you hear them? And sometimes they don't know what they want, right?
Oh, yeah.
So being that advocate who can kind of dig in deep and be like, hey, we're getting a little bit off task.
Yeah. We're getting a little squirrely.
But setting those expectations appropriately.
Yeah.
So,
do you guys, in order to, since you guys are referral based, what do you guys do that really keeps you top of mind to your past clients?
so we do a lot of like, what are they, pop buys?
Yeah, pop buys.
Yeah, we do a lot of pop buys and just events, family events, appreciation events.
Let's talk about those. So like, is there one that you're like, this was a hit and I would love to do it again?
We love doing, it's the end of school.
Okay.
We do like a summer bash and we'll rent out a pool, or we've done it in our backyard, and like we'll just
that's fun.
have the families all come over, and it's a water day. It's so much fun, and we
love that.
do like raffles, and just it's more so being able to still have that connection with your clients.
Yeah.
And having that one-on-one still relationship and still evolving that, because we love on our people really big.
Yeah, for sure. Do you feel like when you have an event for your past clients and clients at your house that it stresses you out, or do you feel like this is like, you love it?
Both.
Both? Yeah, totally. I feel like at your house, it's kind of different.
But you know what I love about it is that it's really intimate.
Yes.
And I think that it brings people into your world.
Yeah.
And that's the dynamic that I love, because we've done it both ways for this particular event.
Yeah.
And it's funny because renting a huge water slide and getting some adults and stuff to go down it. And
you know they always do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so there's like that fun play where they get to really know you, and it kind of puts a different setting in place. We've also done it where we've rented out a pool, and it was bigger and it was fun.
But probably harder to connect.
It was a little bit harder. So,
you know what I love about events at my house is the Augusta rule.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you guys do events at your house, this is so important because so many realtors don't know about this. If you do an event at your house, you can rent your house to yourself 14 times a year. Go to ChatGPT and say, tell me all about the Augusta rule. And what's really nice is that's a huge tax deduction. So definitely a little pro tip there.
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing. And I think when you even talk about that, it's those mindset shifts.
Yeah.
Being in real estate has kind of opened that up, right?
Absolutely.
You and your businesses as well?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I feel like I have been so blessed to be in different rooms with these big real estate agents that are doing things that I'm like, wow, what could I do that's even remotely touching that, and just being really inspired by them. Because although we're in a world where people are trying to find buyers and sellers, there's so many agents that do things that are so entrepreneurial, and being able to take it beyond the transaction. So I love watching those agents grow and kind of just figuring out what my unique path is,
Absolutely.
So do you put yourself in a lot of do you go to different real estate conferences or invest in retreats or anything like that?
Yeah, I have. And a lot of them are mega camps. I want to do more locally, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're always fun. You always gain so much insight. And if you can just take away one small nugget or a couple, I 3 small nuggets, and actually try to implement them.
Totally. That is
because
definitely.
Otherwise it's overwhelming.
There's too much stuff. Yeah.
Hi, it's Barbara with your tax coach, and we love helping entrepreneurs save money on their taxes. Here's a quick tax tip. Did you know that if you have an investment property, you can deduct your mortgage interest, property tax, utilities, HOA fees, and even things like your vehicle if you drive to the property, or meals that you have while working on the property. For more info, follow us on Instagram at Your Tax Coach, or go to our website, yourtaxcoach.com.
I just went to such a great real estate conference back in October or November in Vegas, and there was so many good takeaways, like you're saying. So you can't go implement them all, but I was like, what are 3 things that I want to take back and actually be able to put into my business? But the other huge part of the event, you guys, is being so intentional with building relationships with other agents, especially if you're going into other states, your referral business, right? So you want agents in, California to call you here or whatever, but really being intentional with that. So not just oh, hey, I'm Kristen, how are you actually connecting with them post the event?
We did something really fun at one of the family reunions.
Okay.
Ken and I actually made these T-shirts.
Okay.
And it said, like, your AZ partner.
Yes.
And we had a map of the United States on it.
I love that.
And everything was hollow. People had to sign where they were from.
Oh, wow.
And so we had our T-shirts and they were signing. And so it was this connection and this
I've never seen anyone do that. It's genius.
And it was like also a fun game for us because it's like we need to find partners all throughout these areas.
Yeah.
And we've actually had quite a few referral partners who have come out and utilized us in Arizona.
Well, think about it. People are going to be like, oh, yeah, she's the chick that had that cool shirt.
Yeah. And they had to sign it too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that awkward, fun moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, I love that. And you have to think outside the box for stuff like that. We had these like lanyards, and I think you like bumped the lanyards and like their contact information went into this system that you got emailed to you. So at the end of it, we had all these email addresses. And so for me, I was like, what am I doing with all these emails? Right. So it was like sending up that follow-up email. Do you know there was probably like 5,000 people there. I probably got 2 follow-up emails from people that everybody was collecting emails. Mm-hmm. So if you can do that, you stand out.
Yeah. And we did. We came home and we made like cards for them with our picture with the T-shirt that like,
oh, that's great.
Hey, we were like, hey, it was nice to meet you.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. So tell me, like, where are you at in your business right now, and what are some things you're looking forward to?
So we've kind of gone back and forth between building a team and not. And like right now it's just back to my husband and I.
Yeah.
So honestly, we're just into pouring into our business right now and kind of developing it. We also love farming. And so we have just recently moved to Seville.
Oh, nice.
And so we're just building connections inside of there too that are really honestly centered around God. And I think that that's been a big thing because I think I mentioned to you, like my husband has had health issues in the past. So it's been kind of a pivoting turn for us. And I think that we've gone back and forth between this, like making sure that we're connecting to people who really want to connect with us. And I think that honestly, what I would love to do is show up more on social media in that way and connecting with people in that direction as well, because we are really good at doing that face-to-face and in person. And we talked about doing a lot of events and things. Yeah. But it would also be nice to build community. Yeah. Online presence and kind of expand on that.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people like, so, having God at the forefront of your business can be kind of like, how do I do that? Do you have any like ideas on either something that you've done or something that you're like, maybe I could do this in Seville to like make new connections, to be doing something that like brings God to the center of it, like a Bible study or anything like that?
Yeah. So we are actually talking about doing a small group in our home. And it's just kind of been something that's been on my heart. So I am a part of a couple of different Bible study groups. Okay. From Rock Point. Yeah. And I've been
I love Rock Point.
I love it. And it's more about now being intimate. But we were doing this study and it's called Find Your People. Okay. And it was talking about finding key people that are within a 5-mile radius. Mm-hmm. And it also was saying like making sure that you're going deep, but deep enough that you can actually talk about your finances with them. So like, let's just say someone is looking to buy a home, but also talking about the finances behind it and whether that, but I just was like, wow, what a big vulnerability. Yeah. But it's like also getting to the depth of and the root. But I also feel like we've had a lot of faith, but I also feel like we're turning into walking in that faith. Yeah. And so that has probably been the biggest shift since my husband had his stroke in August. And I feel like that's kind of where we're being called towards, is just really digging deep and building a more enriched community. But in terms of our business, we actually talk to all of our clients about it. Yeah. So every time we're sitting across from a client, we talk about God, family, and community. Yeah. And it's just more so like that's our value and our standards that we know that we're not going to cave on. Yeah. And that kind of sets us right with our clients and the tone of how we're going to help take care of them. And I feel like that was a really important piece that we brought in, but it was a hard shift from corporate, right? We were not allowed to talk about it. And so there was kind of this like, can we integrate it into our business? Yeah. But yeah, it is.
You
yeah.
absolutely can. I think sometimes we get scared of stuff, but the more you're in alignment with who you are, the more you attract the right people.
And that's exactly it. We want to connect with people who are like-minded, and they don't have to necessarily be Christian.
Yeah.
But they have to know that we're going to hold ourselves up to those standards and those values. So like if things that come across, which so many things can happen in real estate, like we will always do them with integrity, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a super important thing. So you said you have farmed neighborhoods in the past. Are you going to be farming your new neighborhood? Is that kind of a shift in your business?
Yeah, and so primarily we were doing Eastmark too, because we have a property there.
Okay.
And when we moved, we're also still doing events and things there and staying connected to all of our people, but also shifting into Seville as well.
Yeah, that's great. And we were actually just talking about this on a previous episode, is sometimes agents want to farm, but they get nervous because another agent in their community is already farming. And I know, especially knowing, if you're farmed Eastmark, you have a lot of people in there. If you're going to farm Seville, you have a lot of agents in there. What's kind of your mindset when it comes to like, I'm just going to do it anyways? Like, duh.
I think it's just showing up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people want you to show up. And it's also being involved. I think that it's hard. Like when you're a part of these communities and you're kind of seen from the outside as a public figure, is that there's also, a lot of people who will either contribute or people who will complain.
Yeah. The takers are the complainers for sure.
And I just always enter into every situation of like, how can I contribute?
Yeah.
And I feel like in Seville, the HOA really kind of doesn't do a whole lot. And I see it as a big miss for a lot of young families to be involved in things.
Yeah.
So for me, my heart is there to more serve.
Yeah.
I want to be able to help nurture and cultivate a culture that would be fun for families.
Totally.
And especially when it's important for me because my children live there. To have that type of culture and surrounding, to be able to have a community and be able to rely on each other inside of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that you've brought up a lot of really good points, and I think a lot of people just get nervous too, but I really think that sticking to like what you're saying, and it is, you have to show up servant-hearted and just know that if I serve people, business can come, but at the end of the day, like I'm impacting, and that's so important,
Yeah, and I think that it's hard too because when you try to farm, you want to see results, right?
Yeah.
And it's a slower realm. I kind of say like the instant things that you're going to get a warm client from are going to be sitting at an open house, right? Like that's someone who's kind of ready. They're in their car.
Yeah.
They're the closest thing to being ready as possible.
Yep.
And when you're farming or you're nurturing a place, it's kind of like casting out a net.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've identified that I really love in my business is just gathering people.
Yeah.
So Ken was like, asked me the same question, is that what do you really love doing in our business?
Yeah.
And that's one of mine, is just gathering people.
Yeah. It is such a great thing when you put together a room and you see people connecting in it. That is one of my favorite feelings for sure. I was going to ask you a funny question.
Okay.
And I don't think you'll be prepared for this. If you were to go in business with a famous person and or a celebrity, who would it be and why?
Oof. I don't know. I don't follow anybody.
I know. This is actually really funny because this is a really hard question.
A celebrity. I have no idea. I truly don't watch a lot of TV.
What about somebody on Instagram that you're like, gosh, their content really inspires me? There's this guy and I cannot think of his last name. For some reason, I want to say it's Matt Gray. But you know how they say follow one person and just really stick to what they're saying? He's the person I keep, and I don't know how I don't know his last name right now, but I get his emails now. And I've been actually going through and digesting his content a lot, and I'm this is really good. So right now he's my top choice.
Okay, well, I mean, I did watch Mel Robbins.
I know. I love
she
her.
was so inspirational.
You watched her?
Well, she was at our family reunion.
Oh, that's great.
And
I would have loved to see her.
She was so inspiring.
Yeah.
And she led the conversation by example, and that's just how I learn and connect. Mm-hmm. And so I really loved what she did. I mean, she pulled a girl off of stage who was just super frightened.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, if there were to be like that one shy person who would never want to be up here, and she like challenged her right on stage, and I was like, whoa. But yeah, it was really cool.
What I love about Mel Robbins is she's so relatable. She'll like completely say where she was years before, and like, you know, I think she was like $800,000 in debt, and she just like owns it. And then so I feel like it's very like you're just like a real person, obviously, but you just feel like, oh my gosh, you can really put yourself in this vulnerable state and then come and look at, like, you have the right to say what you're saying.
Right. Well, and I think that we all go through that, right? Mm-hmm. I think just because there's a certain level or maybe success is seen from the outside is different. I think inside with everybody, there are vulnerabilities that they feel that you don't always want to share.
Exactly.
Right? But at the end of the day, we all go through them.
Yeah.
We're all human.
Yeah. I always say on this podcast, like, if there's one thing I've learned over 9 years of doing this is that we're all a hot mess. Like,
truly.
We are literally all just trying to make it. I mean, we have kids and trying to run businesses, and it's like it's a hustle.
Oh, I joke around. I'm like, I'm just trying to contain my fire dumpster.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Inside, it's like,
Yeah.
Outside, I'm like, yes.
Everything's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. I'm fine.
Well, like, I don't say that anymore, because I realized that I was saying, like, I'm fine and I'm okay when things were really chaotic, but I wasn't actually expressing anything.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I'm just trying to get through this.
Mostly when my kids were really young and we were building out our business.
Yeah, young kids and building your business, it is definitely like fight or flight, and that's hard. I will tell you one thing that I myself and a lot of like women that are doing a lot of stuff, like they went through the hard time and they were in the fight or flight and they were in the like super chaotic season of their life, and now they're all trying to undo it, like me too. So I'm going to tell you right now, like, it's not always the greatest thing to just like, you know, make it even more chaotic. I don't even know. I'm like waiting for the advice to come that I can give to everybody, because it's hard getting through that.
Well, and I joke around and my husband disagrees because I'm like, I'm in my midlife awakening.
Yeah, totally.
But he's like, you know what that means, right? And I was like, listen, just let me own it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean is that, especially if you were here during 2020 to 2022, right?
Oh,
everything was very reactive.
Very.
And I feel like you kind of have to unwind from a lot of that energy. So this year, my word is actually rest.
I love that.
And it's more so rest so that I can have more clarity and focus and be intentional in the things that I'm driving.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it is kind of that fire dumpster where I'm like, like everywhere. And I don't want to run business that way. And,
no.
And you don't want your clients to feel that type of energy, and you don't want your home to have that type of energy.
So true.
And I think that that's the biggest thing is like, how do I make sure that I have enough energy at the end of the day for my children?
Yeah, that is, because there's nothing worse than when they get out of school and you're like, I'm exhausted. I don't have the words. I don't want to run around. I don't want to play football. All those things.
Well, and then you realize that you're losing
the best time.
Your patience with
them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's like they are just so pure in their own little form.
They are.
And they just want you to show up for them.
Yep.
And it's hard to always be on in all of the places.
When you feel yourself where you are chaotic in your business or at home, what's something that you do to kind of ground yourself to get in that, like, I want to be in rest. I want to be like not chaotic.
Sometimes I'll just go to my room.
Yeah.
I've like finally learned to put myself in timeout.
Yeah. That's good.
Well, it used to be my husband would like hand me a glass of wine and be like, you should go outside on the patio. And I'm like, I'm so glad you're aware.
Yeah. You're like, I do need this glass of wine.
And so now I'm just like, I'll just like go have my moment and just be like, I'm at least aware now. And I'm like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
Like mental shift right here. And so I'm starting, and I say this, I like have to mentally hack myself. Mm-hmm. Like if I know something that I'm doing or habit that I'm doing and I'm trying to break it, I have to like hack myself. So I'll either put it on my calendar or I'll like be like, hey, stop saying I have to do something, say I get to.
Oh,
and
that's
show
my
up with
homework.
Gratitude.
That's my homework right now for my chiropractor.
Yeah?
Yeah. Stop saying I have to and say I want to, I get to.
Yeah, it's kind of like and it's the energy that you bring into that, right?
Yeah.
So if you say I get to take my kids to school,
yeah,
you get to. Like, I am blessed that I get to, and I have that flexibility that I get to.
We are so lucky as entrepreneurs to be able to do that. It is, and you don't even say it like it's a bad thing sometimes, like, oh, I have to take my kids to school. But like really just being like, oh, like I'm going to change that and I get to take my kids to school. So I'll see you at whatever time. Like it just completely can change your mind.
Well, and it's the power of your words.
Yeah.
Because they show up in your actions.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that that's why when I was joking about midlife awakening, I was like, I see a lot of people in this stage of life going through kind of a crisis mode.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I fail to believe that. Like, because I feel like I'm more aware and alert and I'm working on things and on myself to even just, you know, the whole unwind. It's like, how do I find joy and purpose in all of the things that I'm doing, not just in some of them.
Yes, absolutely. So this has been so fun having you on. Thank you so much. And if anybody wants to connect with you further, follow you on Instagram, what's the best way to do that?
Mel Sells AZ or Citizens Agent Real Estate. So those are the two handles.
Easy enough.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, it's Kim
and Whitney
from Real Social Agent, and we love helping real estate professionals create social media content that helps them grow their business.
If you're a real estate professional looking to save time and create more effective content, we're about to make your life so much better.
You're amazing at what you do, and we're here to make sure everyone else knows that. From social media coaching to custom content creation, our job is to make you shine.
Follow us on Instagram at Real Social Agent or download our free Reels 101 library at the link in the show notes.
Thanks, friend, for listening to the podcast. We love having you in our community. If you enjoyed our podcast, please leave us a review or share it with a friend. Also, we'd love to connect with you on Instagram. Go follow us at Moms in Real Estate.